Hey guys, it's Jennifer from the Shooter's Mindset. We are live with episode 375. We have our co-host tonight, Greg Cannon. How's it going?
Hey, everyone.
And our guest of the hour tonight is Jason Nedved of Nedved Precision Shooting. How are you doing, Jason?
Good. And yourself?
Doing well.
Good.
We met Jason up in Missouri, and so we decided to pull him on the show and talk about all his good things with shooting. So we'll get into all that in the show. But for anybody that's unfamiliar with you, Jason, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in precision rifle shooting?
My name's Jason Nedved. I'm here in South Dakota. The way I got into shooting was not your typical growing up with shooting and guns and things like that. Yeah, I live in South Dakota and we hunt, but for me, that was you go sight in the rifle with a couple rounds and then you go shoot your animal with one round, and that's all I ever did until about 8 years ago, maybe more now. A buddy of mine was talking about going to a match, and I thought that sounded really cool. It was his first match. He said, you're shooting all these different positions and you're shooting long range out to 600 to 800 yards. And I'm like, the furthest I ever shot was 200 yards. And that's, just to see where it's at. And so I've asked if I could follow along at at his next match. And he picked me up early morning. We traveled to a match and I just walked along and I was hooked ever since. And then shooting and started with the RPR 6.5 Creedmoor. And now I have a bunch of custom rifles that I shoot.
Man, it must be nice to have a bunch of custom rifles.
I sold all my factories and it's just slowly building one rifle at a time.
Oh man, one day I'm going to have multiple, but I just have old trusty at the moment.
Oh.
So you have a company, Nedved Precision Shooting. Can you tell us a little bit about it and how it came about, how it got to start?
Oh, well, with shooting center fire, I wasn't doing great. It was always a mid-pack shooter. And then I got into the 22 shooting. I started with the Tikka T1X, always placed right behind the Voodoos down the line. And it was always Voodoo, then my Tikka, then more Voodoos, and then my Tikka just always fell behind there. Then I got to finally bit the bullet and got a Voodoo and put it in an MPA chassis. And ever since then, it's been going really well for me. And when it's going really well, people ask, what are you using? Where do you get it? What's a good price? So with doing that all the time, and copy pasting links every day to everybody across the country, I got sent home due to COVID. Never got it that I know of, even donated blood. They said I've never had it. And I got sent home for 2 weeks. And I got really bored after day 2. So I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, could we do this? So we started making some calls and contacts, and they said, yeah, we've heard your name. We like what you're doing on social media, always tagging us and stuff like that. So they said, yeah, we could become a dealer. And some have said you have to have a storefront. So we ended up jumping face first into it and got a storefront. And yeah, it's all started because 22 was doing well and people kept asking questions. So and I really enjoy the sport and love helping people. They call, I was 10:30 last night. Someone was messaging me on our website asking for advice, or can we do this? Or if we order this, can it get sent out? Yep, I'll send it out right away in the morning. I get up at 4:30 in the morning and make sure all the packages are ready to go, and they ship out right away that as soon as the post office or UPS opens up.
So you have a brick and mortar store or just an internet?
Yep, we have a website and we have a brick and mortar store. Some of our dealers required a brick and mortar, so we jumped in on that and got a storefront too.
That's awesome.
Yep, and it's actually out in the country, so we can get your rifle set up and then we can go out back. So like for 22, and we got 425 yards out here in the backyard. So we're just beyond the shop, so we're able to do that, get rifles set up and get scopes sighted in, get data, everything.
That's awesome. So what all do y'all have in the store? Like I heard you talk a lot about 22. Do you have center fire things as well? Or is
Yep.
it only 22?
Uh, we do carry everything. Everything that you see me run at a match or you see on a video or anything like that, we basically carry. The thing I really like chassis, so we have like the MDT chassis, the MPA chassis. I'm more of a chassis person than a stock person. So we have all that, and then we also have Voodoo as a dealer. We have Zermatt Arms. We have Terminus Actions, Mac Brothers, and then we also are FFL and SOT. So we have a couple of suppressor companies also jumping into that. But we have everything from Dave Preston over at Gray Ops, MDT, MPA. We have all kinds of stuff. Your bipods, your rings, yeah, your ammo novels from Coltac, Armageddon Gear. It's a one-stop shop. We didn't have anything in this area for that. And with 22 growing in popularity, these shooters that were just using their backyard rifle needed somewhere to go instead of spending a bunch of money online trying this gear, trying that gear, not knowing what they're getting into. Is having a shop to where they can actually get hands on that product before purchasing it. Is what I was trying to get to.
That's huge because people that don't do this sport don't understand it until they start getting into it. And they're like, oh, you can't just go to Cabela's and buy what we use.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you can't just go to Cabela's. Like, so much is always ordered online. And so to be able to have a brick and mortar store to go to and play with the different things is just huge. I know a lot of people just kind of go to matches and play with everybody's stuff to figure out what they need to buy. But being able to go in and buy something there's definitely something to be said for that.
Yeah, especially with even your bigger purchases of your chassis is what I carry. You're spending $1,000 or sometimes more on a chassis, and you don't get to see the color, you don't get to feel it, and we can do that here.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome, especially when you're new and getting into it. If you don't have a close friend or flying and driving to all these different matches, right now, if I'm interested in something, I go out to a match. I'm like, oh, I was looking at that online. Let me play with that. And the precision shooting crowd, they're gonna like take it off of their gun and be like, no, shoot the next stage with it. Like, you want to use it for the rest of the match? I have an extra one in the truck. You just want to use it for the rest of the day, something like that. So people are always going to let you, play with their latest and greatest new toys. I showed up to the range with a brand new Gen 3 Razor on my rifle over the weekend, and everybody's like, "Oh, can I look through it?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go for it. Have fun. Don't shoot yourself."
Yeah.
But
that's what I really like about this community is how helpful everybody is. Since my first match 8-9 years ago, I couldn't hit a target to save my life. Travis Stevens lays down next to me after 5 stages and says, "We're going to get you an impact here." And with my not great scope, just whatever I could afford, and running the RPR 6.5 Creedmoor, having no clue how to set it up, and he got me my impact at like 1,200 yards or something like that. It was like best feeling ever. Still get the feeling to this day, but that first time is something special,
Yeah, still to this day, after all the years of doing it, after every time I get an impact, I still smile a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Especially those long ones where you're like, you think you got it, and you're, a little prayer.
Yep.
And you're waiting, and then you see that awesome, beautiful, bright red magneto speed flasher go off.
Yep.
That makes my day. I had one of those. We had there were 2 targets. We're shooting off of a cattle. Was it a cattle gate or a barricade? I don't know. It was a positional type stage, and we had like a 6-inch target at 450 or so. That was pretty, very, very, very challenging off of the unstable prop. And then there was a big rectangle at 975, and I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and I lit up from ear to ear the first time I smacked that thing this weekend.
Yeah, even working with new shooters and taking people out to my private range out here is out to, it can get out to a mile, but I can get 600 and 950 pretty easily. And it's like a 20-minute trip from my house. And when I take certain people out there, I love the look on their face when they make an impact at 600. I'm like, that's a chip shot. Let's go 950. And they're like, really? I'm like, heck yeah, let's go. 950. And it's like, all right, we can jump in the truck, go a little further out. And it's so fun watching shooters make impacts. And like I said, I still feel the same way making impacts out there. And then you're at matches making impacts at 1,200 yards, and you do it on first round impact and got your wind right. Everything just lines up perfectly. That's a great feeling.
That is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about one of the matches that you're not only a sponsor of, but you're also a competitor in, the Vortex Team Sniper Challenge, where we met you at.
Yeah.
So was this your first experience with a sniper style challenge match?
It was my first experience at a lot of things. I've never shot a 223 competitively other than a old AR, but my partner said, I got a match gun, 6.5 Creedmoor. Can you get a hold of a 223? I said, yep. So I got a proof pre-fit for my Zeus and put that on there. Once fired brass, Lapua, just out of the box, load up, let's go. This is what it's going to be. So that was a first. And then another first was blind stages. I've never done that before. So that was entertaining. It was different. Usually you go up to a stage and you sit there and read the wind for 20 minutes as everybody else is shooting, and you're all talking about, is it 3/10, is it 8/10, who knows what. So doing blind stages where you have to range it, you have to get your dope and help your partner too. And that was another first, is shooting with a partner at that kind of style of match. Like I've had belly matches where you're shooting with a partner, but that's completely different. You have 20 minutes to get your dope. You can get everything ready, and then you just sit there and spot each other. This one, you were not spotting each other. You were looking for your next target or their next target. So it was a lot of firsts.
The blind stages definitely bring a whole new dimension into it. I shot Mammoth, and to me, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a lot more fun because I've gotten used to getting up there, memorizing what I'm going to do, and you just go do it.
Yep.
And there's only so after you shoot PRS a few times, I mean, there's occasionally they'll come up with something really different, but otherwise it's most of the stages are ones that you have done something similar before.
Yeah.
In PRS or NRL, just because there's only so many things you can do, right? So to have it be completely blind just adds another dimension. You get up there and you're having to find them and range them, and it's a whole new level of panic of hurry up, I've got to find this target,
Yep.
get ranged, and am I ranging the target, or am I ranging what's behind it? Or and I know at VTSC a lot of the targets were really either hidden or you could see them, but they were through trees. So trying to range them was a challenge because when you would range, a lot of times it would bounce off of what's in front of it if you weren't careful. So I thought it was a very challenging course of fire.
Yep. Yes, it was. And I think that caught us once is he gave me a range. I went to shoot, I missed, and I immediately said, something's not right. I should have hit that. I was rock solid. Something's not right. So I added elevation on the next shot, and I thought I seen it come in low, and then you get 3 shots per target. So then I added a little bit more elevation in shot and just low. And I'm like, yeah, something wasn't right after that first shot. And then when we got done with that stage, the RO was like, yeah, you ranged it short, but I could see you creeping up on that target. Like I was trying. This gun's been hammering all weekend. I know it. I missed it. Something's not right. So it happened to us once where we got a bad range. We hit some debris or brush or something like that. So, but yeah, like you said, it was a lot of fun for sure.
How'd you end up doing in that match?
That match we did mechanized, and my partner and I, we did end up getting first. And after listening to your guys' podcast with what was it, Nick and Joe,
Mhm.
you needed a good partner. Listen to other podcasts on the Vortex podcast, and they were saying you need a good partner. You talk to each other a lot, things like that. So my partner and I, he's from Wisconsin, I'm from South Dakota. We've seen each other at one match before. We've never shot together. So we talked a little bit on the phone before going, and yeah, let's give this a shot, see if we can't qualify was our goal. And then we got there. Our goal was to beat Nick and Hightower. So we were able to do both those things.
Nice.
You had to throw that in there.
Yep. It was a great time. Are you guys wanting to get into what it was like to give people a little bit more experience on it?
Sure.
Yeah, so I don't know what everybody's heard or seen. There's been a lot of videos. Nedved Precision, we're also going to be posting some videos. They're with our editor right now. But basically what it is you get put into a holding area and they read the stage brief to you in its entirety twice without interruptions. And then after the 2 stage briefs, you get 5 minutes for questions. During that 5 minutes, you can ask any questions to the RO. They can only answer in certain ways without giving anything away or unfair advantage to one squad versus another squad. So the stage briefs were pretty in depth. It was like front and back piece of paper of stage briefs. But the details in it was really important. I know some teams missed out on points because in the stage description it says when you completed, your mag has to be out, bolt back. Well, when we shoot PRS and NRL stuff and mag in, bolt back, your gun is safe. Typically, it's when you're on the shooting line, then you can transition, things like that. So that's what we're used to. But here you had to have mag out, bolt back. And there was teams that had their team member got done shooting, did not eject the mag. Their partner started shooting and the RO was not calling impacts. So when the RO, they don't say why, they don't say anything. If they're not saying impact, when you know you impacted, you're doing something wrong. You might need to change position, look at your partner's gear, maybe you engaged the wrong shape or who knows what. So there's that. And there was one stage that I engaged a circle, but it was kind of quartered away. I think it was in the video you guys recorded of us, and they said, "Is it quartered away?" And I'm like, I don't know, like maybe. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a shot. And I shot, I missed, and then I corrected, shot, hit it. He didn't call anything. I'm like, all right, let's move on.
Our target.
Not ours. So yeah,
There's definitely a lot of thinking in those stages, and it was interesting. There was one team that it was a stage that you had to do certain things. So if someone misses, the other partner has to do, it was carrying a sandbag.
that's what I'm saying.
And,
It's number 1, suck less.
And so, yeah, so now your partner's mad at you because you had to carry a sandbag because you missed. But so they had to run with the sandbag down and back. And this one team, he missed the last one and the guy didn't run down and back. And the guy just went over and started shooting. And he's like hitting it and they're not calling anything. And they turn around and look at the ROs and they're like, what? And the ROs were like, because they can't tell you.
Yep.
And they were like, are we not in a box? Are we hitting the wrong target? And that's the right target. Like they were like going through in their head all the possibilities that it could be. And they finally did figure out that, oh, I got to go get that sandbag and run it, and finally did it. But it's interesting how the thought processes have to, but some people would just keep shooting even when they're not calling impacts. And then afterwards be like, why didn't you call that? And it's like, the RO was like, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And so those points don't count.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. People that don't shoot, or even when you're shooting your center fire stages, mentally there's a lot going on when you're shooting, and some people don't understand that. They just think you dial for it and go, and there's a little bit more to it. I wish it was that simple, but yeah, there's a lot going on. And then you add in that you're taking notes during a stage brief, you're going in there blind, you're trying to range stuff, you're trying to remember the ranges, and then you're writing down your ranges, their dope, my dope, with that hard dope card, and it's a lot going on. And now you're adding, oh yeah, if they miss 3 shots in a row, you got to run with the sandbag and grab that sandbag and bring it back. Yeah, it was a lot going on, but it was definitely fun. I really enjoyed that style of match. I will definitely, we qualified, so we'll be going down to Texas. My boss was really cool about that, asked how the match went, and I said, well, we ended up winning, so now I gotta go to Texas. Okay, need another week of vacation? I'm like, yep, if I could.
If you don't mind, boss man.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited for that. We're going to try to go to one more match to get practiced up, because shooting, what was it, a month ago now, maybe more, and then not going until December to Texas. That's a lot of time without practice. And like I said, he's from Wisconsin, I'm from South Dakota. We don't shoot together very often.
Which one are y'all going to shoot?
We're thinking about Colorado, because that airport's really nearby. He said he would probably drive or ride with Nick, and then I would just fly in. It's either a 14-hour drive by myself, or I think last time we flew to Cameo, we left at 11 o'clock and we were at the range shooting at 4, and we had 2 delays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It seems like a super fun style of match. I'm jealous of everybody that gets to shoot them this year, because I love the critical thinking skills that it involves.
I will say there are team members I would shoot the Vortex Team Sniper Challenge with, and there are team members I would just shoot a regular belly match. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know if I would shoot. Some people, if they want to go to a team match, yeah, no problem. We can lay down next to each other and shoot this match. But there's only certain friends that you'd want to take to that style of match, because of that communication and just knowing what each other need, and knowing each other's strong suits and where they need to improve on, and then trying to make up for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Jim C said that you have to tell us about how you won a badass rifle.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. So because of the Vortex Team Sniper Challenge, my partner said he was going to an NRL Hunter match, like 2 hours away from him. So he convinced me to go to this NRL Hunter match. That was 5.5 hours, 5 hours for me. Convinced me to do it. So I go down there, build a gun, got it done on Tuesday. Had to use some factory ammo, and I went to the match. Jim sent out an email, you need like 120 rounds max if you're missing stuff. I had 98 and I still had to do the chrono, shoot across the chrono. So I had to get some first round impacts there. So that was NRL Hunter. And when you're shooting that, it's first round impact. You move on to the next target. If you miss, you get to re-engage 1 round. So worst case scenario is 2 rounds per target, and there's 4 targets per stage. You guys can do the math, but made it with a few rounds left because that rifle was done on Tuesday before leaving Friday. I wasn't really confident with it, but made it an open light. Got 4th in my division. We're not going to talk about how many people are in that division, but I got 4th in that division. And I think, I don't know, 20th overall, somewhere in there. It's kind of weird with how the teams get in there, that their scores are in there. So kind of placed mid-pack. And my partner of Mike Tassel with the Vortex Team Sniper Challenge grabbed one of these presents on the prize table. And they said those presents we have to open up all at once. And they were talking about this badass rifle that Jim was talking about at the beginning. And they're going to give it away a little different than usual. Well, I never connected the dots. My partner did after a while, after we were sitting there. he grabbed that present. So then I said, yeah, if they got one up there, I'll grab it. Well, why not? Let's give it a shot. Might win a trigger, might win a mug. Who knows what you'll win? Because they're wrapping Christmas paper. So I go up there, grab the last one in the mid pack. And at the end, we were asked to all go up front. And I think there was 5 or 6 of us in front of everybody. And they said, all right, one by one, we'll open up these presents. I think the kids went first. One got like a 50% off T-back cert. Thanks to them for always sponsoring. They always put out a lot of good stuff. And then I forgot what the other kid unwrapped. And then someone else next to me got electronic hearing protection. I got excited. I'm like, oh, heck yeah. That's a good deal. And then it was me and my partner, and we didn't shoot as partner at the NRL Hunter. They were out of team spots, but my partner for the Team Sniper Challenge. It was just us two. And they're like, you got a 1 in 2 chance of winning this rifle. And they said, open it up at the same time. He rips into his. I hear him say, I got rings. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm trying to get into mine. But some evil person wrapped this thing like on Christmas, they just taped the crap out of it every which way. There wasn't even a box showing, right? And I said, I need a knife. So then I had a bunch of knives in front of me, grabbed one. It could not get through that tape very easily. I finally get through the tape of this, I think it was Winchester shotgun ammo box is what it ended up being in, the 4-pack. I open it up and it's in all bubble wrap. I see this box of ammo. I open up this ammo and it's 308 ammo. And I'm like, I thought that custom rifle was a 6.5 Creedmoor. So I'm kind of looking at it. And then I hear Jim, I think it was Jim, say he didn't see it. And I looked down and this piece of paper fell off of it. And it said, see Jim C. I got it hanging up on my bulletin board. It says, see Jim C for your special prize. I look behind me to Jim, I'm like, what do you got, buddy? He's like, I don't have it. Isaiah Curtis has it. And it was that sweet custom impact action, Manners stock, carbon barrel chambered in a 6.5 Creedmoor. Just gorgeous thing. Gorgeous rifle.
That's awesome.
I was shaking. I was sweating. I have never won anything like this before. I'm like, I just couldn't believe it. And yeah, filling out the paperwork for that and getting it. I'm just excited even talking about it. It was great. And my partner, he's like, I'm the one that convinced you to come to this. Last minute, I tell you to come. I tell you to grab a present if there's any left. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. So yeah, I actually called my dad on the way home. That match was a lot of fun. I don't know if it was because of the way Jim ran it. You were constantly active. You were reading your stage brief. You'd run off and shoot, and then you'd get to the next stage. You'd read your stage brief, load a mag, and then you would shoot. We were done by 1 o'clock. It was one of the better matches I've been to in a long time of just pace and keeping you active. I don't know if that's because Jim or if it was the style of match or I don't know what. It was a combination of both, maybe. But it was a lot of fun. The first thing I did is got in the truck and looked up when the next NRL Hunter match is. I'd love to go. They're all booked, apparently. No spots left. I called Dad because he doesn't really shoot. He sees me shoot every now and again. And I said, Dad, I got the perfect style match for you. I got a rifle for you. You can borrow it. He's like, well, can I take it hunting? No, you're not going to take this thing hunting. I know how you go through the brush, you go under trees. No, you're not bringing this gorgeous custom rifle hunting, but you can use it during a match. It was my deal. So yeah, I'm running the 6.5 PRC. I'd love to run that 6.5 Creedmoor, but if it means I can get a new shooter into it, and especially being my dad, I'm not going to do team match. Sorry, Dad, but I would love to, love to have him there and just experience something else because he's older, he can still move around, but he's not into that shoot 10 times in 2 minutes and move 5 different positions. He's not really into that, but this NRL Hunter stuff that you can glass your targets, range them, get your dope, shoot it, I think would be more his style. I think it'd be a lot of fun for him.
That's another thing that's on my to-do list, and I got super duper excited. I was like, being on the East Coast, it's like oh yeah, I could fly across the country for this or that. And then I was like, oh, there's an NRL hunter 5 hours from me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to build a gun. This is going to be awesome. And then I looked at the dates and I was like, or I'm going to be in Missouri.
Yep.
So instead I was in Missouri, but maybe next year's schedules will line up and I'll be able to hit that one local to me. I've got my old 6.5 that I started shooting with. It's pretty light, and I think I could fit that into one of the classes fairly easily and have an excuse to put some more cool things on it.
Yeah.
So we're about at the midpoint of the show. So remember, if you're watching us live on Facebook, ask any questions you may have here in the comments of the video. We'll ask them live on air. Other ways to catch us, so you can always check back on the TSM Facebook page. The videos stay up there forever. We usually upload all the podcasts, upload to all of the podcast apps the night after the show. And normally sometime within the week after the show, we'll put everything up on YouTube as well. If you want to watch us on your YouTube app on your TV or something, it's a great place to check out historic episodes. This is episode 375 of the Shooter's Mindset. So there's 373 other excellent episodes out there for you guys to catch.
So Jason, you run, or at least are involved in running, a kind of big new match, the 22 LR Big Money Match. Tell us about that. What is that?
So we seen a couple friends and I, we seen a post or a YouTube video of someone saying that they should do kind of like the AG Cup, but for 22 World, try to make it a fair match and try to make it worthwhile for some of the bigger top 22 guys to come and shoot. Just doing as fair as we can make it, same environment, same wind, hopefully. I don't know. We're trying to make it as fair as possible. I don't really have much to do with the match. I'm just doing the admin portion of it. Eric Gill said he would put on the match at the range over there that we've had 22X matches at before, to see who truly is one of the top shooters. And that's kind of what we're doing with the big money. You can win $599 for a stage win, getting the top score and the quickest time. So you could get most of your entry fee back doing that. And then the prize money, we're trying to keep costs as low as possible, but give everybody a good match, have a good match. The club there is good, to have facilities, course of fire. We have most of the steel. So, and doing it with 22s, we don't have to go out to crazy distances of thousands of yards. We can keep it 500 and in. So that's a lot easier for stages and getting them set up, things like that. But what we're trying to do is just make it worthwhile for people to travel in and have a chance to win either their money back at just a stage win with 20 stages, I believe it is, or, winning the whole thing and winning a few $1,000s, just to see who is the better of the shooters, and trying to just make a fair match as fair as possible match.
That's what I was about to ask, is how far distances were you going to take it?
I think we're going to try to go out to 511 yards. I say I think that's what he's planning. I'm trying not to be involved with the match setup because I would like the opportunity to shoot it. But if I start getting too involved, then I won't shoot it because I don't want an unfair advantage. And I don't want people thinking I have an unfair advantage. So he's in charge of all that. But to get signed up and to get information, you can go on our website, nedvedprecisionshooting.com. And that's where we have the sign up and taking care of all the admin portions of it. There's a little bit of, hey, I agree to these T's and C's basically, because if we don't have enough people or weather or things like that, and we're handling all that. All Eric wants to do is set up the match and host people. You don't want to deal with all the other stuff. So, yeah.
So what are the dates?
I am not sure. I know it's over a holiday weekend. I'd have to look.
And where is it going to be located?
The dates are September 2nd through 4th, 2022.
Labor Day.
Yep. Because we wanted to have something in case it runs late on Sunday that people have Monday off, kind of like what we're doing for the finals, the NRL 22 finals here. It's nice having it over a holiday. And the Ozarks might be a little different, being, lake there, a lot of family vacation. but just having that Monday that you can finish up on Sunday, travel back Monday, and you're not using up more vacation. That's kind of why we picked those dates for that.
And where is it, did you say?
Marshall, Minnesota.
Oh, is it cold in September in Minnesota?
It can be.
It's always cold in Minnesota.
It'll probably be windy, so that'll make it interesting. Make it as fair as possible. It's kind of an equalizer, having wind.
Are y'all gonna have it just be like a 2-day match? Or are you gonna have it like AG Cup where they eliminate down on the last day? Or what's the format gonna be?
I'm not sure what he's planning. I think it's just going to be a 2-day match. Friday is going to be sight in, sign in, getting all the paperwork and things done. My wife's going to handle all that. And then Saturday is going to be shooting. And I think we're going to try to get 12 stages done. So then we can have a little bit shorter of a day on Sunday. We'll have food, facilities, hopefully a great coursifier. I don't see why it wouldn't be. He's done a few matches. It's not his first time putting on a match. So I know that was important to me. Kind of partnering with them is, my name's on there too. So I don't want a match that we're there sun up to sundown, having scoring issues, having RO issues or anything like that. So I want a match director that's done this before and not just, hey, this is kind of what we're doing and never shot a match and never been to a match. So he has experience. Eric does. So I feel all right doing it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Are you gonna have to qualify for it or how?
Nope. First come, first serve.
So anybody can do it, but it's a big
They
money.
want to give it a shot or see how they rank with some of doesn't even have to be the top shooters out there. They can just go try to win some money, or they can see how they're ranked against the other shooters. Just give it a shot. Doesn't matter.
So Ruth's telling us that it is warm in Minnesota right now, but I don't believe that because I left there. When did I leave? Wednesday, and it was like 38 degrees when I got on the plane and 86 when I got off. But
That sounds not good.
yeah, it's
That's
cold
too
up there.
cold.
It's always cold up there.
Too cold. So do you think anybody would ever do a 22 match with a format like VTSC where it's a team match?
There's been talk about it. I've heard talk about it. I don't know who's going to try to put it on or host it, but if they do, let me know. I'll be there.
I mean, you talk about having a ruck, 22s are usually lighter. It's less money. Like Mammoth was a ton of money because by the time I bought, my sleep system and food and, all the things, because you have to take everything with you, right? It was a whole different set of equipment that I needed. And so it was very different. But if you could do it with 22, that's, the ammo weighs less, the rifle weighs less. I think it'd be fun.
You even have 22 pistol. So yeah.
That's true.
Need to get another can. Because of course the only way to shoot that match would be all suppressed. You'd have to.
22, I mean, it is good suppressed, but
Yeah, I that's my favorite thing to shoot suppressed 22s. They did or are going to do, I forgot which one, the ultimate combo NRL match. NRL 22X Hunter at Arena here in Georgia.
That would be fun.
So it's not quite the rimfire
Shooting like squirrels and blackbirds and
I'm not sure. I found it and then life got really busy and I forgot about it. And I don't remember if it's happened yet or not.
I don't know.
yeah. I think 22 is growing to where people are going to start doing those types of things. And then people are going to have, instead of a NRL hunter style rifle or hunting style rifle, and then you have your match rifle, which is kind of 6 variant typically. I think people are going to, if they start doing these matches, they're going to have their light carbon barrel 22, and then they're going to have their heavier, maybe longer barrel 22. And yeah, I can see that growing. But it's just finding people to do it. Don't need as much land.
And that's why I run a 22 series, because I just don't have any place around that's not already running something to run a center fire match. So I could do this like 15 minutes outside of town.
Yeah. Steel's a little cheaper. Don't need as much land.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Are there any lives?
I think Mike Bell said that the match I was talking about was on June 25th. Jim C shot his first 22 match last Saturday. We need an after action report. We need to get Jim C on and just be like, so how was it? I just want to hear him talk about how awesome 22 is.
Yeah.
I just want to put a camera on Jim C next time he ROs because he cracks me up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call it the faces of Jim.
Oh yeah, watching his face, especially. So back to the talking about how you're asking the ROs questions, and they're just like, most of the ROs were. But if you're doing something stupid in front of Jim C, he's just like.
And when we did go shoot his stage, he had to deal with another team, so he couldn't even RO us. But he did come up behind me and say, yeah, you did something wrong, or I forgot what he said. You forgot your Megan, you don't get those points. And it was like our best stage of the weekend. Yeah, just giving us a hard time.
He cracked me up after the buzzer. He'd be like, why did you do that? People are like, I don't know.
There's a lot of pressure. Jim C was standing behind me. I was nervous.
Yep.
Yep. Ruth said they're also holding an X match on the same date, the 25th of June, up there for all you people that like to live where it snows and gets cold and stuff like that.
I think I'm signed up for that one already. I think.
Nice. I would absolutely love to get up there because I hear that they run a phenomenal rimfire match.
Ruth does host really good matches. There's not much to complain about. Even when you get there, they have a welcome bag or bucket or whatever with your name on it with a men's shirt. And then my wife got a women's shirt and women door prize stuff, or whatever gift bag of women products. And I got male product type deal, or it was actually pretty good.
Jen's mind just got
The
blown.
course of fire was really good. Yeah.
That's awesome because every time on prize tables, I go down there and I'm like, all the shirts are large or extra large. And I'm like, yo, do y'all not think about the women? We don't need shirts that big.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wear it as like a dress.
No. Doesn't work that way.
So here's the real question of the show. Rimfire versus centerfire, which one is more fun?
To me or Jennifer?
Well, I know what she's going to say.
To you.
They both have their days, but if my wife said you have to pick one, it would probably be 22 because I don't have to reload for it. You go shoot a match, it's a little bit cheaper. Even shooting Center X, it is a little cheaper. And it seems a lot more laid back. You're not as stressed as you are with centerfire. I don't know what it is. Just with all the new shooters, helping them out, helping them get impacts, just how everything is so close and quiet. No one's really wearing hearing protection. If it is, it's just very minimal. You don't have to yell at each other. You're not worried about how small that plate is at 800 yards. It just seems a little bit more laid back than centerfire. It's a little bit more relaxed, that's for sure.
I think I agree with you because my biggest thing, well, I love not having to wear ears. That's amazing. But I love the new shooters and being able to teach them, like, they'll come and they have a 22 and they've shot off of a bench before. They've never had to shoot off a tire or shoot off a tank trap. And to me, there's nothing more fun than being like, hey, stand like this. Try putting the bag like this and putting the gun on it and try putting your hand here. And then they get it and they're like, oh, and they start hitting it, like, I love that part of it. I'm by no means the best shooter, but I've had a lot of people tell me how to do the right things. I just don't always listen really well, or I don't apply them very well. So I know I have the knowledge that I can share. And it's like, do as I say, not as I do. But it's just, to me, so much fun, especially like when kids come. I love getting them, and teaching them and watching them hit. I'll never forget that match that you did. That was it a KYL, like a legit KYL, where we would lose points or something, and this little bitty, or we could choose which one, but it's different points. I can't remember. But
where you call your where you start out, it's a KYL rack, and you had to shoot X number of shots at it. But it's like, 1 point for the 1 inch down to 10 points for the 1/4 inch or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And this kid had never shot a match, and he was there, and he had not done really great. And and you were on your belly for that one. And so he got there, and everybody else was like going for the middle one, like not the really easy, only 1 point, but not the really hard one either. Everybody was going in the middle. And this kid laid down, and you had to call what you were going to go for. And he laid down and he called it. We were all like, oh. And he was like, he missed, hit. And he's like, that's all I wanted. I don't even care. I'm just the only one that hit it. But he could not stop beaming. It was so funny.
That was Harrison, wasn't it?
Yes.
I talked to his dad today.
Yeah. He's like all of 15 or 16, but like he laid down and we were like, okay, well, he's got balls of steel. The rest of us were like, going for the easy one. But it was funny. But yeah, I love 22.
That'd be awesome. Another cool thing about 22 and rimfire in general is, like if you show up to like a centerfire rifle match, like there are people that, if your gun goes down, and I'm almost to that point. I almost got the second rifle good enough. I just can't find ammo. Actually, it is good enough. I just can't find ammo for it now. I have no 140 ELDMs, which is what it shoots. But there's always like 1 or 2 people that, I got this extra rifle, and it's generally, like Phil Cashin from Masterpiece Arms, the Allens, they all have like their extra shotguns and whatnot. But like, you could show up to my little rimfire match, and I got people, they'll show up and they're like, yeah, I looked online, and they're super nerded out about it. And they're like, they did all their research, but at the end, they still don't quite have what it takes as far as gear goes. They're like, yeah, I looked up and I put a target out at all these yardages, and I know I need to hold 6 inches high on my X reticle at this distance. And, you see they've been practicing, but their holds just aren't working. And I can just be like, here, just take this and, shoot with my gun for this stage, see how you like it. And it's like, oh, wow, that cost me like $2. And this person is just beaming.
Yeah.
And then they show up in the next match and they're like, man, my wife's going to kill me. Look at what all I bought.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that. A guy was following along or just kind of watching at this 22 match, just the regular NRL 22 match. And I seen him just watching and asking questions. And I'm like, hey, I see you here all the time. I'll bring a rifle for you next month. I'll be here next month. I'll make sure I can make it. I'll bring a rifle for you. He's like, no, you don't need to do that. I'm like, yeah, I have my old Tika. It's set up. I got ammo for it. I don't want anything. Just shoot it. That's all you got to do. Just show up and I'll have a hard data for you. Just shoot it. Just have fun. And he did, he had a blast. Now he owns his own Tika, growing into it, looking at getting a Bagara, he's just slowly growing into it. I love that. Just getting those people in. It's 22 is a little bit cheaper. It can get as expensive, but it is a little bit cheaper. You can start off in base class, or you can get everything for 1,500 and under. You want a custom action. It's a little bit different for centerfire.
I mean, my rifle, it's a CZ 457 Pro Varmint suppressor ready. And the goal of me getting in a rimfire was supposed to be a cheap practice for centerfire PRS. And obviously this is no longer the $600 rifle it was when I started, but like literally there's no need for all of these cool things that I have bolted on the outside of it. At the heart of it, I actually forgot I have finally changed the trigger, but up until like 2 weeks ago. It's a factory barrel, factory bolt, factory action, factory trigger, super awesome PDC custom chassis so that it mimics my centerfire. But you can buy that $600 rifle, $600 scope, some rings, a rail, and you have something highly competitive.
Yep. And I have all of it here.
And if we're not close to you, can we buy it online?
Some of it, yeah. We even have the triggers. We got the chassis. Yeah. We had a lot of business from guys. Gosh, I don't remember what state they were from, but they were nowhere here, but heard about me or seen me I don't know what, but they ended up ordering the chassis for their CZs, the weights. They got everything we got Vortex as a dealer also. So they got their scopes, their chassis, their triggers, everything they were able to get set up from us. And we appreciate the support. You guys, you know who you are if you're watching, but we appreciate the support, and that helps us. And they don't just stop there. And we do this for everybody, not just them, but I don't know them. I don't shoot with them, but they call with questions. I got no problem answering. They'll call me, hey, I'm at the range. You got a minute? Yep, I'm at the range too. What's going on? And then one guy, he was asking, I forgot what he was asking about. And I was trying to answer his question. And then I finally said, hey, I'm at a match right now. I'm up. Give me 30 minutes. He's like, you're at a match and you're dealing with me? No, call me on Monday. It's just like, well, you had a question about your Kestrel. I'm just trying to help you out, So, yeah.
That's funny. So what are your personal shooting goals? Like, do you want to win the AG Cup or win the big money match? Or like, if you had a goal for this year, what would it be?
For this year, we're kind of focused on the business, but for next year, I really want to become more competitive in the centerfire world. And I would like to have the opportunity to go to the AG Cup and actually be competitive there. Getting there, I don't think would be the issue. Is shooting a couple matches. If you go to the right ones, hopefully you can qualify. But next year, I really would like to hit it hard and get to those AG qualifiers and be competitive and be able to go there and not say, hey, I shot it. I want to have a chance at it to make it to day 3. That would be my goal for next year. This year, just trying to focus, get out there, get our name out there. Hopefully it's a good name. People are hearing good things, so that's great. We're doing all kinds of different things with putting on matches to our YouTube channel, doing those demo videos. Those seem really popular. I'm trying to get more out there, guys. But when we went to Missouri, that was the first weekend. Then there was a match the next weekend. And there's literally been a match every single weekend since I've seen you guys. And I think my next break is July 2nd, I think is my next open weekend, but I'm shooting a match every single weekend till then. So it's just getting our name out there, getting the business name out there, and trying to bring some content to you also.
You should do the gap grind as far as getting your name out there. That I think is probably one of the best matches to sponsor, only because if you go to a big match with a lot of the pro shooters, I mean, it's great and everybody likes to talk to you and people will buy some things, but a lot of them already have their gear and they already have picked out what they want, what they're wanting to run. But when you go to the gap grind, you have people like the first year I shot the gap grind in 2017, I showed up with a borrowed AR-10 and had one rear bag and didn't have elbow pads that I didn't know that I really needed. But shooting the AR-10 308, you do. So I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And so that to me is a great match. It's always Memorial Day weekend, so I know it's coming up really soon. But like for next year, that's to me a good one because you get the new shooters that don't have all the gear and they get there and they see it and they're like, I want one of those bags for during the match even. So they'll buy it to, be able to use there. Or, my bipod, I bought it at Cabela's and it just broke on this stage. I need a bipod, because they just don't have the gear because they don't know what they need. And some of them come in and have good stuff, but a lot of them just don't. I wasn't going to spend the money until I went and shot a match to see if I liked it. I had done 3-gun and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It might be too boring. And then I got addicted. But I think it's a good one for especially y'all, kind of being new on the scene and getting your name out.
Yeah, you're not the first one to mention that, but I've maybe heard of the gap grind, never looked into it, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like it would be a great opportunity for us. And we do have our trailer and we travel to matches and have items available for purchase there for to even hold, to touch, to feel. You don't have to get anything, but it's just something so you have an idea. And then obviously we appreciate the support if you do get it from us. But yeah, I think that would be a great opportunity if whoever's in charge of that wants to contact us. And I would love to travel out and have the opportunity to get in front of them. It sounds like a lot of people at that match also.
Yep.
They it's 400 shooters, so 400 pros and 400 amateurs. So not 200 pros and 200 amateurs.
Okay.
So it's 200 teams. But I mean, you got 200 people that don't have their gear solidified yet, probably. So
yeah, that would be an amazing opportunity.
Yep, we can get you in touch.
Yep. You need lives?
Oh, I had one a while ago I forgot about. So we need to go to the NRL 22 championships because Jim C is going to be ROing.
I'll be there.
And then we could go get the faces of Jim C. Although I think they'd probably be better at a blind stage match, but it'd still be fun. We should go.
You guys can have my hotel room. I need to cancel that.
There we go. We got a place to stay.
Yeah.
Mike Bell wants to know if you guys sell 22 match ammo.
Yes, we do. We got the SK Standard Plus in right now, and we have the SK rifle match, so the yellow and red box. Center X, we have some coming in next week, but I think it's only like 8 bricks or something like that. It's hard to come by, but that stuff is listed on our website, and you can purchase it there, and we'll ship out the next day typically. Unless I'm at a match, then it's up to my wife, and with the kids, might be Monday if you're ordering on Friday. But even if you order Friday, I get home and I'll try to get orders out right away before they close at 5 o'clock if I can.
Also, I just noticed Mike commented he's one of those people. He shot my B14R loaner at one match because he was struggling with some really cool but really old, not quite up to standard stuff. And finally I was like, will you shoot the match with this, please? I won a B14R at an NRL 22X match and just built the entire thing as a loaner gun for my friends that don't have 22s and want to shoot. And just, brand new people, they can show up and just be like, here's a gun, here's your dope, here's some ammo, go have fun. And literally he, like 2 days later, he's like, yep, so I just bought everything you let me borrow. Yeah. So it works out real good.
So
Yeah.
where do you
That is the one thing I like about Bagara is I'm not promoting them or anything like that, but they have that affordable rifle to most, and you can slowly build on it. That's what I push people to start into with 22s, is because that's a 700 blueprint. You can get the Bagara, okay? You can run it factory. And then first thing I say, get a trigger. So then you can get any trigger that you get for your centerfire rifle. You can get the trigger diamonds there behind me.
That's what I got in mine.
Yep. And that's a great trigger. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I use in all my rifles. You can get the flat or the curved. And then the next thing is they want a chassis or the scope. You can start with a Diamondback Tactical, work up to a Strike Eagle or the Vortex Gen 3 now. You can work up to that. I got guys that are coming to the match that we host here, and he's running a factory Bagara with a Gen 3 Vortex. It's that Razor Gen 3. He absolutely loves it. He comes up,
nice.
I can see the bullet going through the air. I'm like, it's good glass, isn't it?
It is really good glass.
It's really good glass. I can't wait to get some in. Like I said, I'm a Vortex dealer. I can't wait to get some of those in to get them in some hands of our local shooters for sure. But yeah, those are great scopes. I'm running it on a couple of my rifles now. I got 2 of them. God, they're great scopes.
I loved mine over the weekend, and I went through like this hard decision-making process. I have a Gen 2, or I had a Gen 2 on my centerfire, and I got a PST Gen 2 on my rimfire back there. And then came in this Gen 3, and I was like, I shoot so much more rimfire. Would it be horrible to put the 6-36 Gen 3 on a $600 factory action?
Yeah, the answer is no, it's not stupid. It's the smartest thing you can ever do. When I have a new shooter, come on now, a new shooter practicing, this is the first firearm, discipline he's practiced, saying that he can see that round going through the air. How big is that? You can spot your misses, you can spot your impacts by just getting this great piece of glass. It makes it so much more enjoyable for him.
That is true. I should get 2 more then.
Yeah.
I'll put one on my rimfire and one on my loaner rimfire.
On the loaner too.
Yeah, so this was a great rifle. Thanks for letting me use it today. How much would buying all this cost? Well, it's about $1,000 rifle, $4,000 round. Oh, what?
Yeah, right.
$4,000 round.
That would be balling.
Yeah.
So where do you see Nedved in 5 years? What are your dreams for it? Where would you like it to go?
Well, I'm a single dad this week. My wife is in Iowa, and I called my wife this morning saying, I wish this business could support itself so I could be a stay-at-home dad. That's where I'd love to be. I love spending time with my kids. My baby girl, she comes with me to the range. My son, he's 1.5. He was taking a nap while I was trying to get a rifle ready for a match coming up, and that's it has a brake on it. My wife said she was just about ready to get him up. He was pretty crabby. She goes in there, and right as she goes in there, I shoot outside, obviously, and he pops up like a jack in the box and says, "Dad."
Oh,
he doesn't talk much, but he does know Dad, and he associates that muzzle brake with Dad. It's just apparently just popped up, and so yeah, just in 5 years, I would love the support from everybody in the shooting community. I know I don't offer a lot of things special, it's same thing you get everywhere else, but I'm really trying to be good with shipping. You order it, I get it out that day or the next morning is what we're really trying to do to be different. But yeah, that would be amazing, is to be supported by everybody, to be able to travel around to all these matches with our product and have the family there and be a stay-at-home dad is my goal. I'm just getting a little worked up to even thinking about it, just a dream like that. Gosh, that'd be amazing.
that sounds like the life.
Yeah.
It does sound like the life. It's like the oh, why did I just draw a blank? Because I'm exhausted today. That's why the Truett's. It's just great seeing them travel with their kids, and at matches, everybody's playing with kids. The kids are running around naked. Great.
The kids or
The kids.
oh, okay.
The parents have not yet. Oh, but I think everybody enjoys seeing them. I love that the shooting sports are family oriented, especially PRS and precision rifle is very family oriented. I see a lot of people bring their kids. I know Dave Preston took his son to something recently I saw where he had his son at the match with them.
With a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you bring your kids to a match, they're just gonna end up with like 37 other random unrelated uncles by the end of it.
Yeah, because even if you ask Allison Zane, I think it was in one of her interviews, it was, I just have 60 different uncles, just every match. Yeah, that'd be amazing if my daughter wanted to pick up shooting. I did get her a Nerf gun, a bolt action, obviously. And she's running that, hitting the target across the living room. She loves it. And I told her, if she's good, I'll get her a rifle or a gun for every birthday. And so far for the last 3 years, I've gotten her a gun for every birthday. Nerf guns, but
She got a Gen 3 on that bad boy yet?
Nope, iron sights. You gotta teach them right.
Gotta crawl before you can walk, right?
Yep.
Walk
I just
before
wanted
you
her to
run.
understand, hey, when you pull this trigger, something comes out is what I'm trying to get. And you don't point at guns, even though when she's not looking, I will shoot her mom. But she don't see that.
That's hilarious. Are there any more lives, Greg?
We are good on the live side.
All right, I think we can wind it down to shout outs then. What shout outs you got, Greg?
All right. I have, like we were talking about before, I love my suppressed 22s. GSL suppressors back there. Shooters and Sharpshooters of Augusta, our local indoor and outdoor ranges here in town. PDC Custom, the most beautiful rifle chassis known to man, available in lime green and normal human colors. Shooters World Powder, you can still find it in stock. It shoots awesome. I don't understand people that get double-digit SDs shooting Shooter World's, or I don't understand people that get double-digit SDs because I shoot Shooters World Powder. I might just be lucky, but it shoots awesome. Hunter's HD Gold up there. As you can tell, I am super blind. But in between awesome glass like my Gen 3 Razor, my UHDs, and my Hunter's HD Gold, I could actually like see the stuff down the range. So it's really awesome. Fix-It sticks so that you can take it apart and put it back together again, sometimes with a different part, sometimes with the same parts. And Vortex, because if you don't clean your rifle like you're supposed to, you're going to end up with a carbon ring and blowing primers, and all that stuff just sucks. Not that I did that last weekend or anything.
Not that you have firsthand knowledge. Jason, what you got? You got any shout outs?
Just want to say thanks to everybody that comes to the shop, supports my new business here, getting the orders out. I would like to thank everybody for the support. Thanks to all the dealers that I have. I got Fix-It sticks, some of the others that you mentioned that trust me to sell their product, to show their product. And then big thanks to Vortex for all their matches that they sponsor. That's why I shoot Vortex, is because when you look at all your title sponsors, a lot of the time it is Vortex out there. Especially when I started shooting, it was Vortex. So, and then they hooked me up or allowed me to be a dealer. Took 7 to 8 months, but I finally was able to get that. So I'm super excited for that. I think it brings our shop to the next level of being able to get everybody set up from their rifle to their triggers, chassis, all the way to the scope, and be able to go out back and set that in for them. So, yeah.
Very fun. Very good. All right. And I just want to shout out you for spending almost 2 hours of your Tuesday night while your wife's out of town and your kids are with a babysitter. So
Yep.
I want to shout out to you for taking the time to come on the show and talk with us, and also shout out for supporting the matches that y'all support, because I know you're just starting out, trying to get the business really going. I'm sure, I know with small business, it's difficult at first. So the fact that you're already out sponsoring matches is pretty remarkable. I think it just shows where y'all's heart is, that you really, want the sports to grow. So I think that's great. And so I just want to shout you out for that and tell you thanks. I think all the shooters appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, all right. And so what is the website?
Our website is nedvedprecisionshooting.com. We also are on Instagram, Facebook, and the YouTube channel as well.
All right. So everybody go check them out, order something from him. He's going to mail it like the minute that you hit enter, it's going out. So it'll be quick. So check out Nedved Precision, and we will see you around at a match. And that's a wrap for episode 375.